Hey guys, Nate Sexton here from sunny San Francisco. Thought I'd bring you guys a little bit of a in the bag for the 2018 season. Get you started with the bag itself real quick. I carry the Pound Disc Golf Octothorpe in the Sexton signature color configuration. So this year we got this royal blue, white, and gray. Great bag, USA made, super comfortable. Definitely would recommend giving one a try if you're looking for a new bag. I'll start you guys off with my putters. I carry two types of putters. The majority of my putts I use the D-Line Discmania P2, 175 gram. I have two identical ones. I don't know the difference between them. And I use these interchangeably, or if I were to be unlucky and lose one, I always need to have that extra putter. Also just for warm-up putting or whatever, it's nice to have two so you don't have to go to the basket every single time after you make your putt. So Discmania D-Line P2 for the majority of my putts inside 50 feet. The other putter that I use is the R Pro Dart. I've got one with my stamp, one with a regular stamp. This one's a little bit flippier. This one's a little bit more overstable and newer. I use these for everything from longer putts, like even as short as 40 feet if it's uphill or low ceiling if I need to go with a spin putt, but out to maybe like 125 feet, like about as far as I can putt. But then I'll also use them for short drives, even a drive maybe up to 300 if the wind is right and the trees are right, because it flies very, very straight for me. I can put a little bit of hyzer on it and just let it stand up and kind of ride all the way down. And in this R Pro plastic, it's really good at just sitting down where it hits. It's a little bit rubbery, not going to get a whole lot of reaction off the ground where you're going to be dealing with rollaways or anything. So I really love the R Pro Dart. Even little forehand shots I use it for. So my main approach disc, my long putt disc, and my short drive disc. As far as mid-ranges, I've got myself 4 of them and they're all different. I have Champion Mako 3 with my Sexton Shootout stamp on it. This is 180 gram. I use this for kind of hyzer to flat or flat to flip type of shots. So if I throw it hard, it's gonna finish a little bit right. If I throw it a little bit more smooth, it's just gonna be super, super straight. Great disc for just kind of like a woodsy 300 feet, needs to kind of get flat and to maybe take a small skip. So I really enjoy throwing this Champion Mako 3. Next, I have just a straight up DX rock. I guess it's a Glow. So Glow rock, a 180. It's a Rancho mold. So just kind of the quintessential rock. I really like the grip of the DX, especially in cold or wet weather. So if I really need to crush a rock, I'm gonna go with this one because I just feel like I can really sink my grip into it and really trust that release that I can throw it as hard as I'm trying to throw it. So Glow rock, 180 gram. Straight shots with a little bit of fade, pretty much backhand only. I'm not gonna forehand this disc. A little bit more overstable than that is the Metal Flake Champion Rock 3, also 180 grams. I'll use this one for overstable backhand mid-range shots, big hyzers with the mid-range, or like a little baby flex if I need to do that. So this is my most, or not my most overstable mid, but my most overstable mid that I'm using for any kind of distance. So Champion Metal Flake Rock 3. Last one I've got is a Frontline X Hyzer Bomb mortar. So this is kind of a gator type disc, overstable utility mid-range. It's in a very gummy plastic. So I use this one, short forehand, short backhands, big hyzers. Again, it does a pretty good job of sticking to the ground because it's so soft. And I use it mostly for kind of short shots, probably under 200 feet usually. If I just have a strong wind or I'm worried about a skip so I can't go to my Firebird, this is going to be the forehand disc I'm going to break out to just kind of try to check up near the basket, be a little bit more gentle. The other time that I will use it, though it is pretty rare, is like a 20-foot putt into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, like super, super headwind. I'll probably putt this before I try my other putters just because I know that it's going to hang on. It's not going to try to flip over and ride or float away too much because it is so overstable. Frontline X mortar. As far as fairway drivers, that one is not a fairway. We've got a Metal Flake T-Bird 3 with that Guy Paul McBeth stamp on it. Like to support him when I can. He's out here struggling just like the rest of us. So I like to try to get him a little bit of love. It's a good disc. This is his Tour Series. It's very, very straight, so I can throw this hard and it will flip up and kind of ride just a bit to the right, but it usually has the integrity to come back. So I'll use this for anything from backhand rollers to kind of like low ceiling 300 foot backhands to where if I have a little more airspace, I'd be comfortable pushing this out near 400 feet if I have the room to kind of let it swing and do its full flight. Metal Flake T-Bird 3. Also max weight. Next fairway driver I have is Champion Thunderbird. I have 2 of these. This one's a little bit older, so it's straighter. This one newer, more overstable. These are kind of just like a big brother to the T-Bird for me. So a little bit more overstable, a little bit faster, a little bit more distance. So I'll use these when I don't quite need a destroyer, or I'm worried about skip, or I'm just worried about the destroyer getting away from me. So these are useful to me up to 400, maybe even a little bit more if it's a little downhill, or if there's a lot of room to kind of swing the big anhyzer. I use these also a ton for rollers. This is probably my favorite roller disc right now. When I'm on a course like this course, Glen Eagles, that has that nice cut ball golf grass, then I can throw cut rollers with these, and that's probably my favorite disc to use, along with a Sidewinder for flip rollers that we'll get to in a little bit. So I use these primarily backhand, though I will go forehand with them if I really need a straight finish on a forehand. Kind of rare, but I will do it. Again, these are both 175, a little flippier, a little more overstable, Champion Thunderbirds. Next fairway driver I have is Star Leopard 3. This is my flippiest fairway driver. I use this for shots when I kind of want that Mako 3 flight, but I need a little bit more distance. So this is gonna get out straight, but then finish right when thrown hard. It has the potential to probably push up into the high 300s for me. Also is a useful roller disc as a kind of a quick flip roller. And it's just kind of a nice disc to have when you need that little more speed and glide than the mid-range is going to give you. So it flies, to me, very similar to a mid-range because it is such a shallow or just a narrow rim driver, but it just gets you a little bit more so that you're able to kind of get that last bit of distance or that last bit of turnover and kind of float it all the way to the basket. So it's kind of a touchy disc, but I like that about it because I can use it to kind of maximize my distance without working too hard for that distance. This is a 175 Star Leopard 3. Another fairway driver I use, you may have heard of it, it's called a Sexton Firebird. I have 3 of these. These are all from the 2015 vintage. I use these for every shot possible. I always think, after I throw my drive, I'm thinking to myself, well, I think I put it in Firebird range, so we should be good for an up and down. So as long as I get close enough, which is probably 350 or less, and I have any kind of line, this is gonna be the disc I throw with a forehand. That's gonna be absolutely my best shot that I have in my disc golf game is Sexton Firebird forehand from inside 350 just to get right near the basket and hopefully get an easy putt. So this is the newest one with the cool black stamp that you'll never find no matter how hard you look. I got them all and I'm not selling any of them. So that's too cool for all you guys, sorry. But it's a great disc. That's my most overstable. This one is next with kind of the transitional foil. This one is the medium stable one that I'll use most of the time, especially if there's like a little bit of wind. If there's no wind or the shot is really long, then I go with this one. It's the flippiest. So this one I can push a little bit farther, easily out to 350 if there's not a headwind. So if there's a headwind, I'm not gonna use this one because I don't wanna have it flip over on me, or I'm not gonna use this one for a flex shot really either very often. I'm gonna use those ones if I have to put intentional anhyzer on the disc where I'm trying to get a flex back. But anyway, my favorite disc, that's why my name's on it. I love these and I use them as often as possible. My distance drivers now. First distance driver, Sidewinder. I use Champion and Star. Right now I happen to have a Champion one. This is a 175. I'll use this for big high turnovers, weird escape forehand shots, and big sky rollers. So I mentioned that earlier. This is gonna be the disc I use for rollers if I need a lot of air carry before it finally does hit the ground and start to roll. So I'll use it for that purpose, but also, like I said, that tricky little forehand shot where I need it to, whoa, there she goes, she wants to fly, where I need it to come out of the hand on hyzer and kind of roll up and move a little bit to the left, more so than any of my other discs. This one has the potential to do that. So yeah, it's max weight, 175, Champion Sidewinder. Now I've got the big boys. I got 2 Star XCALIBERs. These are a little bit older. These are the ones I just happen to prefer. I haven't really tried the brand new ones yet, but these ones I really like for mostly, pretty much exclusively forehands actually. I find that they are a little bit mellower in their fade than a destroyer, even though I think it's listed as being a little more overstable than a destroyer. I tend to find with these runs anyway, it's a little bit less than a brand new destroyer for me. When I throw a forehand with these, I can get out to 400 feet. They're gonna be overstable for sure. They're not flipping over, but I feel like they go a little bit straighter, longer, and then have a little bit more of a mellow fade rather than kind of like a quick twist like a brand new destroyer would. So I use these almost exclusively for forehand, anti-line, flat line, hyzer line. Generally big hyzers is my main play with them. This is the main one that I use the most. This one's a little more overstable just in case it gets windy. I haven't really thrown it that much, but you always gotta have that extra one in case you find the water or get stuck up in a tree here in California. That's something that happens a lot. So Star XCal, max weight, forehand distance driver. On to the destroyers. So these are all Star destroyers. I have 5 right now. This is my main distance driver. I'll use them for forehand or backhand, but primarily these are gonna be for backhand. Starting with the flippiest, I've got this blue one. It's not, I wouldn't describe it as super flippy, but it's pretty flippy. If I throw it very hard, it's gonna finish a little bit to the right. I can still use it for a full power forehand though. My forehand isn't as powerful as my backhand, so it's not gonna flip discs over quite as much. So while this is flippy for a backhand, for a forehand, it's pretty perfect. So I'll use this one more interchangeably than any other disc in my bag as far as it being a forehand and a backhand disc. I kind of tend to isolate them a little bit because my power is different. So I want to avoid getting in a situation where I have this overstable XCal or destroyer that I really like. I throw it backhand and it flips over. I throw it forehand and it's overstable, and I start to get confused about how overstable it actually is. So I kind of tend to isolate my discs a little bit, and a lot of times I won't really use the same disc too much. I'll use it primarily for one type of throw, and every once in a while in a weird situation, then maybe I'll use it for the other one. This is one of those discs though that I am comfortable with both ways. Star Destroyer, a little bit beat up, max weight. This is my flippiest one. These two are kind of like in a tie right now for how flippy they are. I'm not really sure which one's more overstable. I use them interchangeably, just depending on what kind of color I'm feeling like throwing. And I also need a backup, obviously. So this is like these are my main distance crushers where they're gonna get a little bit of turnover and then flex back. So these are like beat in perfect right now to where they go as far as discs go when I try to throw them. So that's probably approaching 500 feet on the golf course, and these are the ones that I'm gonna use for that. So both max weight swirly Star Destroyers with a little bit of flip out of the hand on a hyzer release, and then a nice big finish at the end. So these are gonna be my main distance drivers for the summer season, I think, until I need some new ones. Next up is this guy. This one's a little bit more overstable than those last ones. It's also a swirly Star Destroyer, and I use this one when I need a little bit more hook. So it's very similar to the other ones, but I'm gonna use this more on hyzer line, a little bit less when I'm looking for that big flip and turn and maximum distance. So this is a little bit more control disc, even though it is still obviously a big distance disc. Not gonna use it for the big flip S-shot, more for the flat to hyzer. This one I just put in my bag today, so who knows how overstable it is. I'm hoping it's the most overstable destroyer I have in my bag. If it's not, we'll have to go back to the stash. I put it in for Paul again, Huntington Beach Christmas Classic. He's throwing this Firebird that has U of O ducks on it. I've been bothering him about it. This is kind of like a peace offering. I'm kind of saying to him, this is going in my bag. Maybe you knock that ducks disc out of your bag and we get you a beaver stamp disc. So that's what I'm doing for Paul. He doesn't even know that yet, but I'm trying to be nice to the guy. So I got this Huntington Beach Christmas Classic destroyer that's gonna be flying for me. So hopefully it's overstable. We'll see in about half hour. I'll probably throw it for this video and see if it's any good.
Moment of truth. Okay.
I don't know if I'd say overstable, but it's not bad. All right, that brings us to the end of the discs in my bag. All I've got, I show it every time I do it in the bag, is my wedding mini. So I have that, I put that down and can think about needing to make putts for my family and why I'm out here doing this, and helps me focus myself sometimes. So I like having that, it gives me the good vibes when I'm getting ready to putt. Other than that, I mean, that's all my discs. Thanks a lot for tuning in, watching this video, and let's get out there and throw these things a little bit so you can see how they fly. All right, Paul just walked by, so let's let him know. Hey, Paul, I put this in my bag so you take the ducks one out, okay? It's a peace offering. Oh, hit a tree. flies great. It goes too far is the only problem. I put that in my bag so you get rid of ducks. We got a deal? I'll get it for you. I'll get you one. Oh, it's flying perfect. Right in the stack. All right, I think we got a deal out of him. I just need to get him that other Firebird, but I think we're gonna make it happen. So, good news all around.